guys, it's Stephanie from My Porch Prints, and today we are going to be making this shadow box journal cover. And this is just a cute little box that slides in and out, and you can use it on the cover of your journal if you want to, or you can just use it on its own. And here is one that's been decorated, and this was using our naturalist kits, but you can see it's got a cute little design, and you can print it on printable papers to add some color to it, or you can leave it just plain white. It's up to you. So we are going to go ahead and put this together. So to start with, I want you to locate the interior box pieces. And if you want to do a printable paper on these, now is the time before you cut them out. And some of them ask you to print on both sides of the page, so just pay attention to the directions that are at the top of each page. But we printed this on cardstock. This is Pen+Gear brand cardstock. The weight is listed as 110 pounds, but I don't think it's really very thick. It's more like a 65-pound cardstock, in my opinion. But use whatever works best for you. And once you've printed your printable papers onto this template, so you just print the template, then you run it back through the printer and print a printable paper on top of it, and then you can cut it out. I'm not going to print papers on these because I'm not going to be using it for anything except to show you how to put it together. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I went ahead and cut out all of my pieces, and to do that I mostly used a scrapbook trimmer to just slide and cut those out, and then some scissors for the smaller parts. And to start with, we're gonna go find the pieces for the exterior box. And you've cut those out now, and you're probably wondering which ones they are. So these are the pieces for that. This long guy and these two little short guys, and then these two little corners. You may have accidentally thrown those away with your scraps, so if you did, don't worry about it. You can kind of hastily make some if you need to. These are just going to be some corners that we use to secure a part of the box later. And then this actually says exterior box, so you can find that piece easily. And then this is actually the frame that goes around the very front. And we're going to cut and remove this rectangle inside here, and you can do that a couple ways. One is with a blade knife and a ruler, so like an X-Acto blade, you could just cut and remove that. Or if you want to, you can try to do it with your scrapbook trimmer and then just cut out the extra pieces. So I'm going to do that really quickly here. So I'm going to line it up, and then I'm going to lift up my blade and set it down inside. And I'm going to stop before I get to the end. Oop, jeepers. And then I'm going to do that again on all the sides. Line it, lift your blade, and set it down inside that cutting area. And I'm not cutting all the way to the corner. I'm going to finish it off with scissors because I don't want to accidentally cut through my frame piece. And this is just a reminder again that you would probably have printed this on a paper, so yours will have a paper pattern. It won't just be black and white. Okay, so now this is mostly cut. We can come in here with some scissors and finish it up. Actually, I think I'm gonna cut through here to give myself a little more play. Okay, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna score along every line. So if you have a scoreboard, that's super handy for this. Otherwise, you'll just have to fold and do your best. You can also use like a ruler or an edge of a table to really kind of line that up and fold it, but we're gonna use our scoreboard. And before I do that, I want to mention something else. When you're printing your papers on your exterior and interior pieces, you might want to consider, this is one my daughter is working on. And she printed a, patterned paper for the exterior box, and then the interior, she did this striped paper, and it's just a nice kind of striking difference. So the papers aren't too close to the same design that you don't notice the difference. So you might want to consider that, you know, doing something just a little bit different on the interior than the exterior. And then the other thing to note is you may want some kind of handle here to pull the box out. And we did that on this one. And you can see, you could attach this while you're folding it, you know, you could use like brad fasteners and poke holes and attach it before you glue it shut. But we tried that and we forgot almost every time we put this box together. So if you forget as well, you can use glue or brads to attach this to like a matching piece of paper, like this one right here. And then we just glued that whole paper and handle right onto here. So you can see this is just a little piece of paper right here. So just some hints for you as you're putting this together. Okay, so I've cut and scored all of my pieces, and now we're going to go ahead and fold them. And this is the exterior of the box. These pieces are for the exterior, the outside. And what we're going to do is go ahead and fold along our score lines. And if you've printed a design on this, you will probably see that design on the side with the black lines on it. Not the, well, there may be one on the other side of this piece, but probably not on the other side of some of the other pieces. So anyway, just keep in mind that the black lines are kind of what you want to see as we're working. And if you have never done a project like this before, this may be a little more advanced, so just keep that in mind as we're working on this. So we're going to fold along these score lines just like this. And we don't have a tab on this side because it's going to be the side where your box slides in. Oops, like this. So this side won't have a tab because it needs to be open. Okay, and then we're going to fold these. Basically, everything just gets folded on these black lines. So right here where it says exterior box, that's the tab we're going to be gluing to. And we've got this long piece here, and we're going to glue this side with the tabs onto here. Now, I would recommend using glue for this, but I'm going to be using runner tape for some of it. Glue is going to be more forgiving, so you can slide and move things to get them correct, but I want things to be dry quickly, so I'm going to use runner tape for a lot of this. And this piece is just slightly longer than this edge. You can see there's a little extra here and a little extra here. That's okay, just try to center it as best you can. And we're going to do the same thing with these other edges. So we're going to look black side of your tab piece and then the back of this exterior piece. And we're going to attach those as well. Oh, and before we do that, let's go ahead and fold these tabs on these short pieces, and we're going to glue those closed. These are just going to add some stability. So just the two little tabs, not the long tab. Oops. And we're just going to glue this one shut and this one shut, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to glue that onto here. And then we'll do the same for this other side. We'll glue these two tabs shut, and then we'll glue it onto here. Okay, and now we should be able to fold these And then we're going to tuck these two little tabs inside here and here. And this is going to become a box. So add glue to these little tabs. And we'll glue them up inside here. And try to get this aligned really nice and straight. And again, I recommend using glue, not runner tape. Okay, and now you can see these corners aren't really meeting up, and that's what our little corners are for that we cut out. So these are going to become kind of a little attachment piece to keep these corners together. So line these up nice and straight, and then go ahead and attach your corner. And if you're using glue, you'll have to sit here a minute until it dries and just kind of hold on to this corner. Same thing for this one. There we go. All right, and now we've got this kind of frame that we cut out, and this is going to go over the top of this. So what we're gonna do is fold each of these sides, the tabs, and we're gonna glue them together, and then we're going to stick it on top of here. And again, these are just for stability, so it's not quite as wobbly. And when you're folding these, you'll want to be careful that they don't accidentally show up through the frame. If they're a little bit long, if we folded them just a little crooked, they'll kind of show up right here. If you're worried about that, you can just trim the edges off just a little bit more if you want to. And this will make this extra thick. Okay, and now again with our black lines showing, we're going to set this over the top of this piece, and we're just gonna apply glue here, here, and here, and this will become the top. And I'm gonna use glue for this. And that is our exterior. And then our interior box is going to slide inside. So we're going to let this dry for a little bit. And we'll work on the interior. Okay, so to do the interior of the box, we're going to go ahead and fold all of these along the scored lines that we scored. Just on every black line. And for this one, you can see the black lines here. I'm folding the tabs up. so that this is the black lines. You can see them. They're not on this side, they're on this side. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach these long pieces to the long sides and these short pieces to the short sides. So we're going to start by doing what we did before, which is taking these two little tabs on the ends and just folding them and gluing them right to this piece. And again, that just provides a little stability. I probably should be using my runner tape again so I don't have to sit here and hold this while it dries. Okay, and you'll notice this says apply glue here. We're not at that step yet, that's just for in a minute. But for now, what we want to do is glue this long side with the tabs that we just folded onto this long side, just like this. Okay, so we're going to make it so that we see the tabs, you can see them, and we're going to glue them right under this one, just like this. And this will make sense in a minute. I want to make sure I have this aligned properly. Hopefully I will. This is where glue would come in handy. I probably should have used glue so that I had a little play. I don't have to get it perfectly right the first time. Hopefully that's right. Okay. So what this is going to do is it's going to become the side of our box. So you can see it's going to have dimension and give it that kind of cool shadow box dimension. And so that's what we're doing here. We're just gluing these on to create these sides. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Make sure you can see your two tabs, and that goes underneath this piece, and we're just going to glue it on just like this. And then we're going to do the same thing up here, only we're not going to glue these tabs down like we did with the long pieces. We're going to leave those open. And again, we're just going to glue it onto here like this, just like that. Okay, and I did remember that this is the point where you might want to attach that handle. So if you're going to put a handle on this, this is going to slip inside our exterior piece, just like this. So whatever side you want for the top, like if this is the top of your box, then you'll probably want your handle over here. So it would go on this piece right here that's next to the large piece, this long piece right here. And you could fasten it on with some brad fasteners right now if you want to. And then that would be right here, and you could use it to pull your box out. So again, if you're putting a handle on, this is where you want to put it. But I'm not going to do that right now. So this is where apply glue here comes in handy. We're going to go ahead and do that. So the first thing we're going to do is glue our long sides. And I'm going to go ahead and use, I think I am going to use glue for this, so it may take me a minute to let this dry. Oops, I already got glue on me. And what you want to do is kind of align it with this line. I don't know if you can see this in here. This line right here is where the corner of this should touch. So tuck that right in there, and then the glue flattens down onto this back piece. So the glue is touching this back piece, and that's how this becomes a box. And we gotta let that dry for a minute. It can be a little confusing when you're folding it, but just try to make a box shape. And remember, the glue has to touch this back piece. Okay, and we're gonna do that with this side as well. Apply glue here. And then fold it all the way in, tuck it into this little black line, and then fold it to make your box shape. Okay, and now we're going to do our short sides, and to do that you'll want to apply a little bit of glue to these two tabs on the outside. So not here, we don't want the glue here and here, we want the glue here and here. And that's going to help tuck this up in underneath here. Okay, so a little glue there, a little glue there, and then we want glue where it says apply glue here. Okay, so tuck those two little tabs in. They're gonna go inside here. It's a little tricky, like I said, this is a little more complex than some other kits. But these are supposed to help hold this together. So get that little tab tucked in, get that little tab tucked in. And then one other thing you can do is apply a little dot of glue to this corner and this corner. Just right here on the very tippy corner. And that's also going to help hold this together. And again, we're going to tuck this glue up under here, and that makes our box shape. And I know it can be a little bit tricky, a little bit complex, so just keep that in mind. And then we're going to do that with this piece as well. So remember, fold these tabs, put the glue on there, and then put glue on this little corner, just right here and right here. Oh, and then on this piece as well. It can get a little messy, so beware of that. Okay, tuck these tabs in. You'll have to play with them a little bit. And then fold this all the way down and inside there. And just kind of hold it all together while it dries. Okay, and then this should slide into here. Just like that. And just so you know, there is a little bit of play right here. There's a nice little gap. And that's because when you're putting this together and decorating it, you may want to tuck some items back behind here, and you're gonna need a little bit of room for that. Otherwise your box will get stuck. So there's a little gap, but that's okay. And this is a decorated piece and what it looks like. Okay. And this is the piece we created. All right, everyone, I hope you have fun with this. I can't wait to see what you guys make. If you want, comment and tell us what you think you're gonna make for your theme of your shadow box. All right, thanks for watching, guys.